Hello and welcome to Team Liquid's strategy guide series for Nerub-ar Palace. My name's Eiya, and today I'm presenting Telegon's breakdown of the mechanics and strategy for heroic Ulgrax, the first boss in the instance. Ulgrax has two simple phases. The first phase, Gleeful Brutality, is an active phase where he is tanked while executing several mechanics. The second phase, Feeding Frenzy, is an inactive phase where the boss charges around the arena while you deal with small adds that drop food that players may pick up upon death. After 4 charges, the boss returns to the arena hungry, dealing raid damage until fed to 100 energy, at which point he will return to phase 1 and repeat this energy cycle for the remainder of the encounter. In the first phase, players will need to soak the target of Carnivorous Contest, delineated by a circular web graphic. The target, along with any player in the radius, will be pulled towards the boss when his cast completes. The strength of this pull is reduced by the number of players within the soak. If too few players soak, you will be pulled into the boss and devoured, resulting in an almost certain death. The boss casts Stalker's Webbing twice in phase 1, covering the area around him with webs that should be avoided as contact will cause you to be rooted until broken out. This effect may be removed by any normal root removal ability or effect, as well as any ability that prevents the application of magical debuffs. Rooted players may also be freed by killing the net that will appear on them. The boss periodically casts Venomous Lash, dealing AoE raid damage and debuffing several players. When this debuff expires, it explodes in a small AoE and removes any web in the vicinity. Ulgrax begins at 100 energy and takes down to 0 at the 1 minute and 30 second mark. Upon reaching 0 energy and beginning the second phase, the boss will knock players back after casting Hulking Crash and burrow into the ground before beginning to charge around the arena. While the boss completes 4 Juggernaut charges, we need to kill small adds called Ravenous Spawn. These adds need to be tanked as they apply a bleed to their aggro target. When killed, they drop chunky Viscera that may be picked up with a click to gain an extra action button. After the boss charges 4 times, he will cast Swallowing Darkness and explode up from the ground, clearing any webs around him, then becoming ready to feed. At this point, you have clicked food and should move to him and use your extra action button to feed him. He gains 4 energy each time he is fed and casts Hungering Bellows until he is raised to 100 energy. Each successful cast of Hungering Bellows deals raid damage and increases his nature damage done by 10% for each stack and lasts 30 seconds. In terms of strategy, you should look to move Ulgrax towards the edge of the arena to begin phase 1. This vastly reduces the amount of webs that spawn, making them easier to clear. There is no vulnerability tied to Carnivorous Contest, so you do not need to assign groups for this mechanic on below mythic difficulty. Should this change before release, simply identify 2 soak groups before pulling. You should look to use raid movement utility on Carnivorous Contest and when Ulgrax returns to the arena in phase 2, ready to be fed. Unless you've managed to bait Ulgrax into charging near the majority of the food, players carrying food will need a speed boost to reach him expediently, such as Stampeding Roar or Windrush Totem. Tanks need to swap on each Tank Buster cast of Brutal Crush. This ability debuffs the target with a 200% healing taken reduction that decreases by 10% every second of its duration. As a result, that player will not receive any meaningful healing for over 10 seconds. This means that if you don't tank swap quickly, your co-tank could quickly become dead. As always, we'd like to include a reminder that this guide is based on data and observations gathered from pre-release testing environments. Please note that the information provided may not fully reflect the final state of the raid encounter, as adjustments and changes can occur before the official release. Use this guide as a reference, but be prepared for potential differences in mechanics, tuning, and strategies when the raid goes live. Any significant changes will be noted in the description of this video. With that, we very much hope you found this guide useful. Please feel free to leave feedback or commentary below, and make sure to keep your eye on this channel as more guides will be coming out soon. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.